Hey, everybody, welcome to Banter, and gobble gobble to you turkeys. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Hello, hello. Whether you're nursing a hangover, driving to your family gatherings, or cooking up your last side dish, hope you're listening. We're thankful for you guys. So happy Thanksgiving to you all.
Ready? Speed survey. 4 of us on here.
Ooh.
Papa Bakes here. Turkey or sides? Go. Sides.
Sides.
Ooh, we're all on sides. Look at that. That's a clean sweep.
All
We're
right,
due
now-
for a sweep, boys. We're due for a sweep in a good way. So that's
Hey,
a
and
good
real,
one.
and real quick, Dad, if you want to actually turn a light on so you can actually see yourself.
There you go. Hey, wait for hey.
There he is. Grand entrance.
So, yes, we do have a guest. This is Thanksgiving, bringing the families together. So, we decided to bring Big John on. So, let's get at it. We're going to start with some NFL. We'll jump right into the new college football playoff. Some of the big games this week. I believe this is final week of regular season, right?
I'm
saying that?
So, yep,
terrible.
before conference champions.
God,
It's terrible.
I mean, like
It's
Trey
terrible.
said, cherish every week.
I told you guys week 1.
Cherish every week.
Take a
But, like,
moment.
That's what's crazy is like I remember the exact day that we were talking about like week 0 games and we're
Yeah.
already here.
I know.
Yeah.
Like that's nuts how fast that season goes.
Yeah.
But,
13 weeks, man. That's where we're at. Which, thank you, by the way, Trent. You reminded me to throw the banner up real quick. So, hey, just a real couple household things here. We obviously, like I said last week, bearderbreakerbrothers.com. Check that out. Official Moneyline Go partner, moneylinego.com/experts/bearderbakerbet. We are also now on the TikTok, if you will. Give us a follow on there. I'm calling it the TikTok. Give us a follow on there. It is at bearderbakerbet as well on TikTok. And we also now have an official store. So check that out. You can see that website along the bottom there. It's Bearded Baker Brothers. It's on Teespring. So check that out. Pretty cool. We got one logo up there right now. But yeah, we're looking to get some other items and stuff up there to advertise and get it out there. So go check that out. Support the brothers. Appreciate you. But
Sure.
yeah, let's get into this. Got NFL talking. There's obviously some news out of the Giants where Daniel Jones is no longer a member of the team. He is now a member of the Minnesota Vikings. So not just is he a member of the Minnesota Vikings, but you also, I don't know if anybody saw the news last night that Tommy DeVito is also not traveling to Dallas this week.
Yeah. Injured forearm.
Which, ipso facto, starting quarterback is Big John.
Drew Lock.
There you go.
So I knew that was obviously some questions too. I knew Drew Lock had some questions as well. Why the hell he wasn't starting initially when they had benched Tommy DeVito. But yeah, so Tommy DeVito out, Drew Lock in for Thanksgiving Day. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. Thanksgiving games here. I'm a little interested, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say too much because I want to make Trey all a little hissy fit. But
no, I think Tyler, Tua coming back, the Dolphins kind of getting not like hot streak. I don't want to say that, but they won the last 2 weeks. That saved Thanksgiving.
Three, I think it was
3 weeks. Okay, yeah, but I'm saying that kind of saved the Thanksgiving games because the first 2 are going to suck. I think the Lions are going to steamroll the Bears. The Giants Cowboys is actually a perfect game for your mid-afternoon turkey nap. So I'm actually okay with that. And then now the night game actually has a little meaning to it. I think since the Dolphins are on their way to fighting for a playoff spot, I'd say they're in the picture. And going to Lambeau, cold night, trying to prove another cold weather game for the Dolphins, I feel like they always have to do. I think it saved the Thanksgiving games is what I'm getting at. But yeah, not a good slate overall though.
No, I truly think that a lot of people probably thought the Lions Bears was going to be more exciting than it actually is going to be.
Right.
But I really do believe that goes back to Eberflus and his failure as a head coach there. But that's just me.
And I think statistically, the Lions are the 3rd best team. There's a statistic called DVOA, I think the 2008 Patriots, the undefeated Patriots, and then the 1991 Redskins are the only teams that have a better DVOA than the Lions in the history.
What about the 85 Bears?
What's that? Yeah.
What about the 85 Bears?
No, there's only two teams. It's the Patriots when they had Randy Moss, Tom Brady went undefeated and lost in the Super Bowl, and then the 1991 Redskins.
The Bears went 15-1.
I'm just giving you stats, Dad.
Okay.
Careful. He will yell at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he will.
I'm a guest, and he mistreated me. Oh,
man.
But yeah.
Trey, what do you mean? Say that again? They have the best what? The
DVOA. It's like it takes away like junk stats.
Okay, so it's like strokes gained.
Defensive adjusted value over average. What'd you say? Oh, shut up. There we go.
It'll never get.
It is. All right. It's a way to neutrally compare stats where it takes away junk time and everything. It's just
okay.
Just in case you aren't up to the strokes gained thing. Trey tried to explain strokes gained one time in a golf episode, and actually Trent and I started snoring on air.
That's
whatever.
And we're like,
dude,
it's so interesting. I'm so happy.
Just to make our listeners understand a little more, But
yeah, it was pretty rough. Pretty rough.
But yeah. Any other? I feel like there was some other one. I know Dable's on a hot seat. I mean, that's not really any of a question, but does he get fired this year before the season ends, or are they just going to let him ride it out?
No,
they'll let him ride it out.
I'd be surprised if they do. Because I feel like there is a total. If they are, it'll be a shock. Like, Data, if you think he's literally going to keep his job, I think it's a shock factor to that, because the fact that them benching him, Dable was not aware that the team was going to release him. So like,
they benched him because of his contract, because the hit that they would have taken against the cap next year, if he had gotten hurt, he had in his contract where he was guaranteed money if he was hurt this year. That's why they turned around and benched him, and then they turn around and release him. Well,
this is little bit of like a Russell Wilson deal last year, huh?
Exactly. That's exactly.
But they have the coach's hands tied behind his back.
Makes sense. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'd be cool if the Bills fired him, the Giants fired him. Former Bills offense coordinator. Because let's be real, the silver and black after today's Antonio Pierce's comment, they're looking for a coach. I don't know if you guys saw that. I know I'm getting a little off topic, but did you guys see that? Or?
I have not.
You talking about last night?
I think it was today.
So last night.
Oh, and the comment was.
Sorry, this whole time frame. The comment was, as he's interviewed about this week's game last night, he said, let's call a spade a spade. Now he's referring to the Chiefs-Raiders game on Friday, Black Friday. And he said, you've got the best team in the NFL playing against the worst team in the NFL.
Ooh.
Pierce said that?
Antonio Pierce.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
last time.
That about sums that up.
Last time something like that was said was Bill Callahan when he was the head coach of the Raiders after throwing the goddamn Super Bowl. A little bitch. Great offensive line coach. I'll give him respect there. But yeah, literally said, let's call a spade a spade. You got the best offensive team. You got the best team in the NFL playing against the worst team in the NFL. And he's like, let's make it ugly. Let's make it dirty. Let's play Raiders football. I'm sorry, but like, you're just, after saying that, how do you have a locker room? Yeah, how do you have a locker room? It's a freaking joke of an organization. And you know what, guys? I'm starting to get a little nervous. Here's why. Because
you like the Ravens?
No, Tyler. You're just such a hater. I'm starting to get a little nervous because the more and more I'm reading into the situation. The Raiders are now up to the second pick overall.
They're going to get Shadur Sanders.
And I honestly think this is going to happen. You think
you get Dion and Shador?
Yes, I do. Vegas. Freaking Vegas.
I did. You're not wrong, because I did hear that rumor.
It fits him. And you know what? I know one person on this podcast right now, besides myself, is going to cringe, and I think he leaves the fan base. I think he leaves the fan base completely. John, Dad,
Yeah, I might. I still think Sanders is going to Dallas.
Yeah.
but not if the Raiders are at first or second overall. If the Raiders draft before them,
Why would you take that quarterback?
Because Mark Davis loves him.
Well, the whole thing is why wouldn't you take Hunter before you take that quarterback?
Oh, I would not. I would not.
Take Ashton.
Why?
We need a quarterback.
He can play defensive back, and he can play receiver.
We need a quarterback.
Subpar at both. It's better corner than his receiver.
I just think we need a quarterback.
Okay, let's look at the Raiders receivers right now. You have one.
We have
one
none.
receiver plus you have a tight end.
None. We have. I just say none.
Myers is literally. He's a good secondary receiver.
Secondary. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, he's not a prime receiver.
You don't make a bad point, but we need a head coach. We need a quarterback. But either way, are you trying to show something here in the center?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not doing something on my end. I'm nervous.
I think we need some fireworks.
Yeah. Wait. Nope. Wait. Yeah. Come on. Separate them, Dad.
Wait, does Dad get those too?
Oh yeah. Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
I don't. Trey, we've been doing it the whole time since we've been prepping.
I didn't know Dad gets those.
Wait,
too.
Dad, hold on. 2 peace signs.
Okay, what's 2 peace signs?
Ooh, we're confetti. Okay. Wait till the new one.
We got balloons.
Guys, I'm about to drop. I'm gonna drop a new one tonight. That I learned
Trey,
that we have.
Trey.
No, that's adorable. All right, so hey, so we got Daniel Jones. He's a Viking now, by the way. I don't know if
there's another prime
Viking.
There's another reflection on the Raiders season.
Yeah,
if you don't want to win games, you don't sign Daniel Jones in that situation. If you do want to win some games, you sign Daniel Jones.
That I agree with that statement, but two things. I'm glad the Raiders didn't sign him because we are totally tanking, whether anybody wants to admit that or not.
They just did admit it by not signing him.
The other thing is that they can't just sign him. Daniel Jones passed through waivers, so he was a free agent, and he made it very clear he would not sign with anybody but a contender.
Right. Yeah.
And the Raiders aren't a contender by any means.
Neither are the Vikings.
Yes, Dad. They have 2 losses.
Yeah.
2 losses for the year, Dad.
Yeah, guaranteed playoff spot, pretty much.
Vikings are total. Yeah, in the NFC, that's total guaranteed playoff.
They're going nowhere.
I cannot believe you're still running with that, Trent.
Yes, I am.
The NFC is so much better than the AFC this year. It's not even close.
See who wins the Super Bowl because you're in top seed last year.
Okay, easy to say, Mister. I have Patrick Mahomes in my conference or whatever.
Easy to say. That's why the AFC is always better. You got reigning champs going for a 3-peat, and you got Josh Allen. Josh Allen going for a freaking Super Bowl, man. It's a joke. It's
you have
AFC.
the Lions, literally the best.
I
team
do.
In the league.
I'm not gonna lie. Besides your guys' teams winning it all, I do want the Lions to win it all. I want Niners, Packers, Ravens. Niners, Packers, Ravens, Lions.
It's a lot of things.
Well, I'm sorry for supporting you guys and my wife. Like, what do you want me to do?
No, but in all seriousness, I think the signing of the Vikings to Daniel Jones is perfect for them because it gives them a cushion if they do get an injury to Darnold. Their season's not completely over. They at least have a viable backup that has won games and made the playoffs. So I don't know. I just think it was a smart move by the Vikings. Honestly, I think if any team was going to do it, they were the team too.
I like Jones. I think Jones is a very capable quarterback on a team that can protect him a little bit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say that when he's been so bad.
He's not been so bad. It's when you're running for your life and you're sacked the number of times that you're sacked. If you have a line that even quasi protects him, he still gives you the threat to run. He's a Josh Allen size. I mean, he's not even a small scat back kind of quarterback who's vulnerable to a big hit out for the season kind of thing. He's like a linebacker at quarterback who can run over people.
Yeah, and then there comes a point where he has to throw the ball as a quarterback. And
I'd take him in a heartbeat.
And that's where it goes back.
Trey, I honestly think it's a system thing. I just don't think
is
he
a
fit into the Giants system thing. And maybe he goes somewhere fresh. I mean, the Vikings is obviously interesting because you do have Darnold who's had success. At this point in time, though, I mean, Daniel Jones is your number 2 now. God forbid something happens to Darnold. Obviously because McCarthy being out for the rest of the season.
Who'd ever think we'd ever say that about Sam Darnold?
Hey, went to Shanahan. He had the quarterback whisperer.
Okay, well, let's look at this. What running back left that team, left the Giants, and is now the top running back in the entire NFL because of an offensive line?
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think, Trey, that kind of goes back to your point last week about Saquon when we had that big discussion. Dude, I think that discussion is put to bed, that Saquon, when we talk about, remember that we said about the top tier running backs, right. Saquon is right up there, top 2, top 3.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, and I do find it interesting though, is like, and again, maybe it's just my bias, but like when McCaffrey was having the season that he'd had last year, it was like, oh, McCaffrey should be MVP. No, probably not. And now it's like, here's the argument for why Saquon is the MVP. And it's like, I don't know. I just find that very interesting that all of a sudden now everybody's quick to jump on the bandwagon of Saquon after he has 255 yards rushing, which I get, that's incredible. But that's also what can happen when you're the Eagles if you give him the damn ball.
Yeah.
And how often have we talked about that? Just give him the fucking ball and let him run. Let Jalen Hurts turn and hand the ball off to him and just run back to the huddle and call a play.
Until they're inside the 10. Then selfish Hurts insists on trying to run the ball in.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, stop. And I don't know if it's Hurts calls or if it's good old offensive, Kellen Moore making the calls. I don't know. But like, just turn and hand the damn ball off to Saquon Barkley and then run back to your huddle. Yeah. Like,
okay, here's a little stat for you. Saquon was the person who was tackled at the 1 yard line more than any other running back in the NFL.
Wow.
Hurts leads the league in rushing quarterback touchdowns.
I don't see a problem with either of those things. Like, I think the biggest thing now is they realize we got to run the damn ball. Like, that's my only thing. Like, guys, they got 2 losses. They're very well on their way to being the 1 or 2 seed in the NFC.
So I'll be honest with you. They're gonna. I foresee a path for the Eagles winning the Super Bowl this year.
Lions, but I do want something, because I read this today, real quick, to kind of backtrack a little bit, and I know we're kind of getting away from this topic, but I do thoroughly like what the Vikings head coach is able to do there. They're supposed to be in a rebuild year, and they're I mean, I know it's like 2 years, not last year, because last year they were pretty bad, but the year before they had a pretty good regular season record. Nobody believed in their record, which rightfully so. They got beat first round of the playoffs. But one thing I do like about, like we talked about, can you believe Sam Darnold is doing what he's doing there? And can you believe now that they signed Daniel Jones and they have a rookie? They've got rookie McCarthy, who's their future. I mean, they picked up Daniel Jones for about $356,000 this year.
And keep in mind, Chad, this is all after getting rid of Dalvin Cook a couple years ago.
Yeah. So I like his quote though was, he said, "I believe
his backup Mattis."
Yeah, and he's gone. I believe that organizations fail young quarterbacks before young quarterbacks fail organizations.
Interesting.
And that, to me, I think that's powerful. That's McConnell. That's McConnell, head coach of the Vikings. I think that right there is very, very true. I look at just names that come to my mind right away as I think of Baker Mayfield. Mm-hmm. Baker Mayfield is turning himself into he's having a hell he's going to put together a hell of a career down there in Tampa moving forward.
You also have to realize that Trent with Baker Mayfield is he also had a good career with the Browns. He had one or two bad seasons, and they were like, we got Deshaun Watson now.
But I also the name that I think
you had to massage that right in there, didn't you?
Ooh.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think you guys will agree with me on this, but this is why I was like very okay with the rumors of my favorite team trading for this guy. Was I think that's a Bryce Young situation too. I would have taken Bryce Young this year for what we have right now. I'm just saying,
175 pound quarterback now.
Yeah,
I would take
Trent, if you're going to bring Bryce Young in, you better get your coaching situation solidified. You better solidify a lot more shit than just bringing in Bryce Young. He'd be in the same situation he is now in Carolina. You go to the Raiders right now, it's the same situation. If not a little bit worse.
Not disagreeing, but I'm just saying I think Carolina was failing him more than he was failing them. That's a shitty organization.
I think
and don't get me wrong, Raiders are even shittier, but I don't know.
I think what you're going to start seeing is teams kind of drafting quarterbacks that they don't necessarily need early on. I
think they play them too soon.
Exactly. Okay, so I know this is going to sound biased, but the Packers, what they do is they draft quarterbacks before they're even thinking about retiring
and sit down.
And they sit 3 years behind a very capable quarterback. They learn the NFL. They learn how to travel, how to be a leader, how to manage a team.
It's the only franchise that does that, though, Trey. Like you've known,
but Love, I'll be honest with you. I thought Love was a failure. I never expected much out of Love at all. But I'll be honest with you. I mean, that worked for him.
Yes, and I think
sitting in a quarterback room with Rodgers and learning how to prep for a game,
and imagine
how to prepare for a game.
Imagine if Sam Darnold got to do that out of his career. Has sat 3.
Well, he did. He did, no, and he pays tribute to Shanahan because he was in the San Francisco quarterback room.
But
and
it's at the
you
Jets.
talking about when he was with the Jets?
Yeah, at the Jets, he was thrown to the wolves right away. And what I'm saying
Mark
is,
Sanchez to learn from.
Well, how to fumble off butts.
Yeah.
No, I just think you're getting. And Tyler, you said we're the only team to do that, and we're the only team to have 3 starting quarterbacks in the last 30 years.
Not disagreeing that, but you also got. I don't think that it does depend. You can't make it a one size fits all because you also have to realize. Wow.
What?
You also have to realize too. That's Trent taking digs. Yeah. There are quarterbacks that do come in and play right away and are good. I mean, CJ Stroud's struggling right now this year that people are starting to question a little bit, but Stroud had a great first year last year.
You got to remember his line.
Jaden Daniels. Right. Jaden Daniels having a great year this year. Bo Nix having a great year this year. I don't think it's a one size fits all where you can say all quarterbacks need to do that because there are some quarterbacks where the system that they come from, it just works. And not even necessarily
how many years they were in college,
and how much game experience they. I think
look at Nick, how many years he played in college.
Right. That's what people take for granted is game experience, and that's why I always, not to get into anything else, but Brock Purdy started 4 years at Iowa State. He had tons of game experience. He was the last pick in the NFL. People were like, "Oh my God, why is he so good?" Well, he had a lot of game experience in college. Mm-hmm. So he knows the crunch time stuff where he knows what to do. The pressure isn't too big for him in certain moments. I think it's game experience. So the transfer portal stuff, I'm not playing here, I'm going to go here. I'm not playing here now, I'm going to go here. I think that's more of a detriment to players in college. Even though they think they're getting, the best of it, I think the fact that they're not getting the game experience and letting tough times impact them. I don't know. That's just my trend. What were you going to say?
Well, I maybe I want to. Do you want me to save this point for college when we talk college football? But I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yeah, I was going to know.
But this is pretty bad. I think it's very bad. As a high school coach, I think it's very bad for high school kids. FBS schools are limiting their roster sizes to 105. That's a decrease, and now if you are literally only allowed to have 105 kids on your roster, including, I believe that includes like red shirts, gray shirts, etc. Now that's going to trickle down even further because I think there's going to be roster size. There's already roster size limitations at FCS, and that's going to trickle down to Division II, Division III, and forward. So like college football, ever since this whole transfer portal thing and all these freaking guys playing into their like 32, it's bad right now. If you're a high school kid coming out of high school trying to play college football, it's only getting harder. Like
especially
it's
certain
good.
positions. Like very rarely you're going to take a high school kid out of a high school quarterback and say, okay, here you go. Like you better find a team. Yeah, I mean,
there's thousands in the portal.
Teams are going to go to the portal before they ever go for a quarterback.
Especially. I know we could talk transfer portal forever, but I just that was something that really jumped out to me this week when I read about that. I was like, damn, like that is totally going to trickle down, and that's going to be really detrimental to that to high school kids finding a home at the next level. But hey, Tyler, I'm soon ready. We soon ready here or what?
Wait for what, Trent?
Bearded best bets.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
I do love that.
All right. Woody Page. Trey.
All righty. So we're starting with the NFL.
Yep, NFL.
I got 4 NFL bets. One, some of them, I don't know. The NFL, it's such a parity league. One week it looks so sure that these bets are easy. The next week you never know what's going to happen. But first one I have is the Steelers +3 at the Bengals. I know the Bengals are hot and they're just losing like really close games that they probably shouldn't be losing necessarily. But
Steelers are underdogs against the Bengals.
That's what I'm seeing.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
This is why gambling is absurd right now.
Yeah. And you know what? The Bengals will probably win by like 13 or something stupid. So
nope.
But I just think the Steelers defense is too legit. They just do enough on offense to win games. If you're holding teams to 13 points, it's kind of easier to win. So I'm going to go Steelers +3 as my first one. Next one, I know it's a team coming off an ugly loss to the Titans, but I think the Jaguars are just so bad. And that yeah, I do.
He still has a job.
Does he? Is he still there?
Dude, Peterson's still there, Trey.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So how many rumors have we seen now and sent to you? And you're like, about damn time, and he's still there.
I thought he was officially gone. That is the craziest thing I've heard all day, actually.
So I think what needs to happen, I think we need to send out like a peace offering to Doug Peterson. So Doug Peterson, if you would like to meet us at the Applebee's in Hershey, we would order all you can eat crunchy shrimp, not riblets, and dollar margs, and we'll also call Buzz Williams from Texas A&M basketball, and he can come join us, and we can all just have peace.
He screwed us the other day. So Buzz Williams, get over here.
Buzz Williams will deny he was ever there.
Piss in your margarita.
Well, at least he knows the address of the Applebee's in Hershey.
Yeah. Or does he? We don't know.
Eat in the neighborhood, right? So, hey, Applebee's, if you're ready for that sponsor, just let us know.
Yeah. But no, so that makes me even more confident in my Texans bet, knowing that Doug Peterson still is coaching those Jaguars. Yeah. So, man, that's a lock if I've ever seen one. Next bet is Bucks -5.5 against the no, it's not a good team. It's a divisional team. Oh, the
Panthers. Yeah. Love that pick, Trey. I love it. Less
than a touchdown. I think the Bucks are also kind of fighting for a playoff spot. I know the NFC wild card is so tight because the league is so good this year, or the conference is so good this year. But
because you got to give a playoff spot to a sub 500 team.
I think our wild cards are 9-2, 8-3, and
he's talking about the NFC West, Trey.
Talking to your NFC, NFC West, but also NFC South. You got to give 2 sub 500. You got 2 sub 500 division winners. That's how good your.
I don't know if the Falcons are going to be sub 500.
They're 6
Yeah,
and
oh,
what
yeah.
5 right now. They're horrible.
Yeah,
Right?
they're above 500.
So
Till
it's-
they bring in Big Penix,
Mm,
they're going to be sub 500.
And then my last no, go ahead, Trent. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
let's take a moment. I don't do many of these on our show.
Oh,
There we go.
Richard
Who's going to be happy to hear that?
Holiday Richard Pop Top.
yeah.
Yeah, Richard popped up.
Let me,
Give one out to him, but I don't get to do this too often. But tomorrow's a holiday, so
Having a little Buffalo Trace here, so warms
Not
the
too
warms the
bold
warms
move.
the
Bold
whiskers.
move.
My
but
water
just
in my
to,
Yeti is
just
really
to
nice
wrap
and
up
cold.
my NFL best bets here.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Dolphins plus 3.5.
You
What?
He's
And, okay.
he's
I knew this was coming.
he's superstitious. Last week, I would bet the Niners. I would bet the
Okay.
Niners. It's a
'Cause
must-win game. And then we sit there and like, dude, if you're betting the Niners, you're not a fan. He's like, I would never bet them. But we're like, dude, you just said you would. Okay.
Because they're smart bets. The Dolphins have the best wide receiving core. They're the fastest team.
You
we're
beat the
without-
Niners 38-10.
Yeah,
That was not a smart bet,
How
idiot.
smart. Dolphins are 1
I
and
wanted
11 versus
to-
Dolphins
I
are
wanted to
111 versus teams above 500. How smart of a bet is that?
let me show you guys a funny picture.
You don't have to.
No,
John,
I'm
what's your
going
best bets?
Me?
Yeah.
Matt? Okay. Here we go.
You know what? Hey, he might be right on that Dolphins pick because Tariq Hill had his traffic citations dismissed.
That he
See.
did. That he did.
Yeah.
You're right.
Wouldn't
You're
that be
all right.
nice?
Told you.
Yeah.
If any of us did that, I don't think they'd be dismissed.
Hey, it's all right. We need the cheetah to score some fantasy points this week. Anyway. All right, I got you. Ready? Here we go. My first pick combats one of Trey's. Yeah, his first one.
That's
I am Bengals money line. Ooh, that's. Ooh.
I can't read it.
Shots fired.
You can't see it?
Watch the
No.
episode back. You'll see it.
Wait, Tyler, let me just put it up so you can see this real quick.
Trent, go ahead.
It's pretty.
You see it?
Man, he's pissed.
Yeah, I see it.
Tyler's
Yeah, I see
pissed.
it.
All right. I got Bengals money line. Once again, I'm a sucker for. I just think the Bengals are better than they are. Actually, the record shows. Joe Burrow, if they were that coin flip difference of one possession games, he'd be the MVP this year, hands down. Trey, this is a team that I thought you would jump on. I like the Rams minus 2.5.
I'm always on the Rams.
You are little under a field goal versus the Saints. I just think the Rams are a better team when it comes to those two teams. Derek Carr will definitely fumble while probably diving for a pylon at some point. I definitely am all on Buccaneers minus 5.5. I should have made them my pick last week. I knew they were going to murder the Giants, and they did. And then my last pick here is freaking Seahawks, baby. Seahawks money line versus the Jets. Screw the Jets. I am laughing my ass off seeing that Aaron Rodgers wants to play next year, but not for the Jets. Devontae.
Dude, that's completely false, Trent.
Did you not hear Aaron Rodgers say it himself?
On McAfee's show, dude. You gotta watch
matter,
the show.
dude. Aaron Rodgers.
Dude, Trent is such a
He'll put a diaper on, do some shrooms in a cave. He wants to. I love it. Sorry, allegedly. Do I need to say that, Ty? Sorry, diaper.
Like you're no better than Adam Schefter in the legacy mainstream.
I
media.
love it. Call me what you want. Call me what you want.
I'll call you.
Legacy Trent.
But
CN Trent.
seeing Devontae go to the Jets
CNN.
and seeing them absolutely suck makes my day.
All right, I missed Trent PC.
hey, Trey, to say, I've been telling you for about a year and a half, the Jets suck. That's why Robert Saleh's gone, their GM's gone, and guess who's still there?
Okay. I have
Aaron
a question
Rodgers.
for you,
Aaron Rodgers
Trey.
is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback anymore. He's done.
Trey, you know who he sounds like? Joe Lenardi.
Oh, he does sound like Joe Lenardi.
Don't you ever put those words in my mouth.
I knew that would get him.
Don't you ever put those words in my mouth. If Carolina doesn't beat Michigan State tonight, they're 3 losses to worst teams.
They're right down with 3:41 to play.
He's just like
Freaking
that.
pissed
Just
me
like
off.
that,
Yep.
Tyler. Comes
Yeah,
right back at
No,
you.
I'll come right back at you.
I
Carolina.
told him to bet on Michigan State to cover, so I don't want to hear it.
Well, you're a Tar Heel fan.
So Trent, you picked Packers
smart
and
bets.
Bengals so far.
I picked 4 teams. I said
And Tampa Bay.
I
Okay.
picked Packers. I got Packers -3, but it's a little bit of, I guess right now you're not seeing 3. I think you're seeing about like 3.5, 4. I then have Bengals money line. I've got Seahawks versus the Jets money line.
That's right.
And then I got Rams -2.5 versus the Saints. But let me know, guys, when you need my Thanksgiving Day picks, because I got my Thanksgiving Day teaser. I got my Thanksgiving Day touchdown prop or parlay. You let me know
Wow.
if you want me to share them. I'll share them right now if you need me to. But
No thanks.
Dad,
they're not
Dad,
my
you got
best
any,
bets.
you got any NFL best bets?
I'll make a comment on a few of them. I like Trey's Steeler pick. As much as I dislike the Steelers, I like Trey's Steeler pick based on the fact that all these potential MVP candidates, the quarterback in that division, every time they see the black and gold, they cry and falter and trip over themselves and just don't even know what to do. As soon as they see a Steeler, they just turn to nothing. Jackson's a prime example. Burrow's a prime example. They're all that way. They're in that division until they face the Steelers, and then they falter.
Hey, Dad,
I have a cool stat for you.
Hold on, Dad. I'll do a beer bet with you, straight up money line.
Okay.
If the Bengals Steelers money line.
Dad, take the points.
I don't want the points. I have bet the Bengals money line. I just want
to look at him taking advantage of our guests like this.
I'm getting 3 points.
Manipulating.
Yeah.
I don't want 3 points. I have 2.5 on my book too. I'll take 2.5 Bengals.
on Trent's book.
Yeah.
On Trent's book, he has 2.5. Yeah.
Draft is 2.5.
TSB Trent Sportsbook.
No, but the other one I wanted to comment on was Tampa Bay.
Not Trent's name.
I wanted to comment on Tampa Bay as well. You got to remember this is Evan's second game back. So last week on his first game back, he was a little tender, didn't really get into the flow of things. He'll make an impact in the Tampa Bay game.
Dad, to support your argument about the Steelers and Ravens and the potential MVP, who I think you're referring to is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, who did I say?
No, you just were hinting at it, but
He said Jackson.
Oh, you did? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The Ravens in the last 2.5 seasons or I want to say like 40 games or something like that have only scored under 20 points 3 times, which is pretty crazy. And all 3 times has been against the Steelers.
Can I say something though about that? And Tyler's going to call me a Ravens fan. 2 of those times, past 2 seasons.
Here we go.
Last game of the season, Ravens had nothing to play for. They sat all their starters. Steelers won those games.
All right, Trent to the rescue there for
just putting that out there.
That's okay.
So
they still lost the game. That was on the schedule, and they still lost the game.
I got 5 best bets.
That's right, Dad. There's no pictures on record books, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. All right, I got 5 here. One of them being tomorrow, Lions -9.5 against the Bears.
Spicy pick.
Yeah, I think they actually crushed the Bears. I'm probably going to make that my pick. Raiders +13 against the Chiefs. I mean, I know the Raiders are terrible, but
Chiefs.
Raiders, Chiefs.
Oh
it's one of those games. I got Dolphins +3.5, Trey. Just like you did.
Yeah. That was a good. I like that.
Yeah, it was a great bet.
You better hop on it while you can, right? Yeah.
Trent, I actually have Jets money line against the Seahawks.
I'll beer bet you right now.
Do it.
You owe me one anyways.
I'm not going to beer bet you because when I beer bet, I feel like they don't win. So I'm going to take the bet only. But I feel like this is one of those games where everybody's like, yeah, why would you not take the Seahawks? Jets are going to come out and win. I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those games.
This is weird. Wait, hold on, guys. Did he say anything besides meow, 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 meow?
Just not taking it.
Okay.
His
And then
cats aren't allowed downstairs.
Trent Sportsbook has the Seahawks plus 10 though, Tyler. So
Ooh, I like this
I don't know.
sports book.
And
Hey,
then-
guys,
Metcalf
you
is no
guys,
longer considered healthy.
you guys all get profit.
He's on the injury watch.
And then last one I'm taking here is Chargers money line against the Falcons. That game right now is a -1+1 spread right now, and I believe the
No Dobbins.
Falcons.
No, I'm seeing Chargers
That's
-1.5.
Yeah, Chargers are favorites.
Yeah, but Edwards had a long touchdown run.
Yeah, I'm taking Chargers money line because Herbert's playing into his own, man. It's just a
Falcons
matter of
off a
time.
bye.
Dude, I'm telling you, I don't know what the Falcons' deal is, but until they start Penix, I think that they're going to struggle. So,
wow.
Don't get me wrong. Kirk Cousins had great games in the beginning of the year, but as of lately, I think the Falcons need a spark, and I think
it's
you
a
need
defense.
I think you need to put Penix in there to spark something with their offense. It might be their defense, which is crazy because
Their defense. Is Simmons and those guys. Simmons doesn't. He looks like a shadow of himself.
Tyler just wants the Penix inserted into the game.
That's true.
Hey, man. You can make all the Penix jokes you want. I've never
It's-
denied
it's-
any of those. So
Hey,
It's
you know
not-
what Tyler's
it's not
quote
hard.
is, Trey?
What's-
He says nobody can beat the Penix.
Except me.
They really need to stop jerking him around
Yeah.
and just put him in.
Yeah, they just
All right.
I mean, he can stroke the ball downfield.
Yeah. I think they just need to finish Kirk Cousins and put Penix in.
Oh, jeez.
all right, let's see if this works.
I think Tyler's a little
I am-
nervous, yet he's wearing a hat that says moist.
Yeah.
Moist
We're talking about
turkey,
a plum.
don't you see the
It's
combination?
because I got my
That's
turkey
with his
shirt
gobbler
on.
shirt on. He wants moist turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Two leg strike.
really
Nice.
small graphic, but
Nice
That's
graphic
small.
I
though.
get the idea.
That's good.
it's not mine. I can't take credit for this. ESPN. But yes,
Hey, boys,
so
boys.
Oh, hey,
Boys,
Rock
did you
stars.
guys see that?
that's good.
Yeah.
absurd.
That's
That was
real.
very good, Trent.
It's real life.
So let's jump into college football because obviously I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more discussion with college football lately just because it's a shit show in a good way, like a good shit show.
Love it.
The new playoff rankings came out. If you're looking at it in terms of rankings here, I know the graphic's a little small. Might have to blow your screen up a little bit if you're watching the podcast here, but you got Oregon 1, you got Texas 2, Miami 3, Boise State is 4. Your 5 is Ohio State. Your 6 is Penn State. 7, Notre Dame. 8 is Georgia. 9, Tennessee. 10, SMU. 11 is Indiana. And 12 is Arizona State, as predicted by. So
Wow.
I predict, dude. I said it last week. I said Arizona State was going to beat BYU.
Oh, last week.
Yeah, you
Okay.
didn't
That's
predict
what I
it at the
said.
beginning of the year. Be a bigger thing if you freaking predicted it at the
That's-
beginning of the year.
That's what I thought he was talking about. I was
They're-
like,
no,
that's
no,
actually
no,
pretty
no.
impressive. Oh, last week I
they're-
called.
Their over under in wins and losses preseason was 4.5.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Can we?
Yeah,
let's
We did talk about that last week. Remember?
let's real quickly talk about that end of that game. How angry was that coach, man? That was a weird situation. Arizona State students rush the field. They end up putting 1 second back on the clock for BYU to take a Hail Mary. That coach was pissed.
Yeah.
Really, really lucky he didn't get a 15-yarder yelling the way he did at those officials. But I am my biggest takeaway right now. First thing that I look at this whole board that just freaking pisses me the hell
Oh,
off.
Can I knew it.
Alabama.
I was going to say.
Like, get
Yep.
the freak out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyway,
just pack it away,
They
please.
can't. They
Like,
won't.
why?
Nope.
Because, like, you know what? If they
Because-
get in, hold on. Let me just finish my rant. If they get in, it's a complete joke. It's a
Mhm.
complete joke because here's what they set up. SMU and Miami are going to play each other.
Yep.
Okay, they're going to play each other, right? Well, if Ohio State loses this week, Penn State gets in the Big Ten championship, correct?
I believe so. Or
I think they would, because Ohio State
Indiana?
has.
Who is it right now? It's Ohio State and who?
Oregon.
And Oregon.
Oh,
but,
Oregon. Okay.
So either way, so one of those two teams are going to lose, right? Oregon or Ohio State. But that I don't think really. I think what happens there is they just switch spots no matter what. Like those are the two teams that no matter what happens with either of those two, if Ohio State and Oregon have to play again, they just have to switch spots because Ohio State. Well, I should say this: Ohio State doesn't become the number 1 seed, but I'm saying I think Oregon absolutely goes to the top seed. That's not a top 4 seed, right? The 5
for the Big Ten.
Yeah, I'm looking at it all, man, and it. I mean, I just think whoever loses between Miami and SMU is out.
Yep.
They're out.
Ooh, I don't think they're out.
They're absolutely out.
If it's SMU, they're out.
They're out.
If it's Miami, I think
Miami's out. I think Miami's out. I think they're going to put Bama in. Like putting Clemson as a first team out, I think it's a joke because they're not going to put Clemson in over Bama. I think they're still going to put Bama. I think Bama will jump them and get in. Like
I think Clemson will beat South Carolina this week.
If they beat South Carolina, then I think if something happens in the top 10, then yes, I do think that should happen. But that's my big takeaway. Tyler, I don't know how you feel about this, but I'm seeing a lot of Tennessee fans saying they hope they don't play in the SEC championship because they're afraid if they lose that game, then they're just going to drop out of the playoff, which I get at this point.
They would.
Yeah.
And they're not the only team to say that though.
So they're going to get
most
punished.
teams right now. Yeah.
So that will piss me the hell off is if Bama gets in with 3 losses over Tennessee, who would make the championship game, lose the championship game because they get that extra game. I'm torn. Like if Alabama gets in this playoff, because here's the thing, guys, if you're willing to make a little bit of money, plus 180 for Alabama to miss the playoffs right now.
So here's my question. Right now, I don't
to miss the playoffs.
To miss.
So that means they're going to get in.
Yeah. So something's up. That's what I'm saying. But like, if you look at this and you say there's no clean way that Bama can get in, if you're willing to take plus 180, I think there's a lot of people out there that put quite a bit of money down on that for Bama to miss the playoffs.
Hey, question for you guys though: who is the SEC championship right now? Texas
and Georgia.
Okay, so
Texas and Georgia.
The only way that Tennessee really gets in there is if
Texas loses
to A&M.
Texas loses, it's Georgia, Tennessee, I believe.
No, it's Texas A&M and Georgia.
Oh, you're
That's
right.
Correct. Texas A&M beats Texas. Texas A&M's in the championship game.
Yeah.
So there's no way Tennessee is in the championship game.
Yes, there is a way. I don't know how.
Georgia and Texas lose.
Okay.
And Georgia plays.
Or actually, if just Georgia loses, I think
Georgia plays Black Friday.
Yeah, Georgia plays Georgia Tech.
Yeah, they're gonna win. Although Georgia Tech's pretty tough, guys. Watch out! Don't sleep on them. Run a lot of nice quarterback counter.
It is interesting because I've also seen the rumor that there's a way that Texas could not even make the playoff.
No.
But at this point in time, well, hold on. Now that was prior to the clusterfuck of last week, where everybody lost.
I loved it.
Dude. It was awesome. It was.
I love that they gave Indiana all these schools. See what a fraud! All these SEC fans. Indiana told you guys what a fraud, blah, blah, and then 4 SEC schools go on to lose that afternoon.
Hey, can we talk about who said Florida would beat Ole Miss?
Yeah,
said that last
week.
Good
call, Ty.
I felt bad for Jackson Dart.
Dude, that game. Why, dude? Like he was my Heisman pick in the beginning of the year, and Ole Miss was also my championship game, and I don't feel bad at all. I thought it was fucking awesome. I thought the fact that he threw an interception and threw another interception was even better.
Threw like 6 at the end of that game.
Screw Lane Kiffin, man. Like screw that. Like it was
Ooh.
freaking awesome.
I like Lane
It was
Kiffin.
awesome. No, I don't like. I'm a
That's
Tennessee
because you're a
guy.
Tennessee
I don't
fan.
like him. Yeah, I don't like Lane Kiffin. So even though I pick Ole Miss a lot, I don't like a Lane Kiffin. But
Dad, what's your takeaway on the playoff bracket?
Well, Indiana's vulnerable. SMU is going to get knocked out.
By who?
I don't think Miami's as good as what they are. Boise State, this whole conference thing with Boise State getting a bye is a joke. Make them play somebody. So
Don't you like that?
no, I don't like that. I don't. It's I mean, let's look at like 4 or 5 teams in the left column, and then look at Boise State. Boise State won't even be in the game with any of them, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, play somebody during the season. You know, these Toledos and things like that, and
They hung with
Mercers
Oregon.
and
They hung
what's
with
that?
Oregon. They hung with Oregon.
Yeah,
They almost knocked off Oregon.
yeah. Well, what was their last game?
UNLV or something. San Diego
Yeah.
State.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I went. They
Yeah,
play
you know
a
what I'm
week
saying?
Yeah.
Was it Nevada or UNLV? You know what I mean? I mean, it was just like seriously, and they struggled. So, you know, that bye thing. I mean, whoever wins, whoever gets bracketed with them, more power to them. It's like having a bye. As long as they win that first game, you're on into the semis.
That's why the 5 seed is actually not a bad seed to get.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna you get a home game.
Oh
and
my gosh.
And I would even say, guys, like wouldn't you even say along the lines of how sometimes we debate how like bye games kind of like bye weeks kind of hurt teams in the playoffs?
Yep. Like the MLB wild card.
Yeah. Like I would almost say like keep your momentum. I mean, football's a different animal though. Like I think since the NFL made it to where only one team each conference gets a bye, I think that's so valuable for health wise and health purposes.
Yeah.
But
to get better and to get healthy.
Yeah. So like
yeah.
Dad, I'm with you on that. I struggle with always like Notre Dame's gonna always be in the playoff, guys.
Well, let's look at that. Let's think of this. Who's Indiana's only lost to?
Ohio State.
All right. And who's Notre Dame's only lost to?
It's a good point, Dad.
Northern Illinois.
But now, but
why? Like, how could you not think that? And they don't have to play in a conference championship.
But wins. What are your wins? Your quality wins?
What are your quality wins?
I understand that, but that's a terrible loss.
No, Notre Dame's only quality win is Texas A&M.
Hold on.
Notre Dame is always going to be and always has been catered to. Alabama, Texas. These schools are the schools. They're historics. They're like the quote unquote blue bloods.
Ooh,
you know, of college football. Penn State's in amongst them. You know what I mean? These other schools that are finally starting to fight their way into it, but I mean,
let's call them red bloods because Bama, Georgia, Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, they get gifted things. There's no doubt about it. This college playoff is still SEC loaded. I mean, when you sit there and watch the mainstream media talk about, oh, it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing, you know, about the SEC that they have to play each other. Oh, they have to play each other. Come on, cut me a break.
Well, it's my biggest takeaway. Go ahead.
It's gonna have to get to the point too, though, where like you can't fault the team for playing in the championship game. If you're in the championship game, I feel like that should weigh more.
Yes.
Whether you win or lose, has to weigh more than just a record.
I agree.
Well, somebody sitting idle that week.
So right, that's what I'm saying. Like, so let's say Tennessee play Georgia in the SEC championship, and say Tennessee loses, has 3 losses. Alabama shouldn't jump them because they have 3 losses too, because Tennessee would have played in the championship. Right. I feel like if you're in the championship game, you need to have some sort of that. It has to boost you in
a bonus.
Way.
Yeah.
Can I give you guys? can I give you guys a little hypothetical here then? If it holds true, and let's say Texas wins this week, which they will, and Georgia wins.
Sorry.
Yes. If Texas, sorry for
Still
Tyler's
5 seconds.
Tyler's okay. UNC just tied it up, so
he might have another hernia though.
yeah. So let's say Texas makes the championship, and let's say they lose to Georgia again. Is Texas out?
Did Texas lose it to Georgia?
I don't think
Texas
so.
isn't going to be
Again,
out,
Two
guys.
losses? No.
The thing that you guys got to realize, let's look
Texas has no big wins, guys.
let's look at the alumni base. There is more money at the University of Texas. It's like Michigan is in the north. I mean, you have huge alumni money. Texas is going nowhere. Texas is in the playoff, guys. I'm just telling you flat out right now.
Yeah, I
From what
don't
it's-
disagree with that.
From what it sounds like, I don't think Michigan needs alumni money. I think they just needed Dave Portnoy money.
Did you see what they said? Did you
Yes.
see what Michigan said? We will have a quarterback. Their alumni have stepped up the NIL money.
Dave
It's not,
Portnoy.
it's not just the alumni, Dad. It's
Portnoy
celebrities
is
that
an alumni.
graduated there.
Portnoy is a
I
long
know.
time. I'm sorry,
But I'm saying
Yeah,
it's
I messed
it's
that up.
big. It's a lot more than just
Larry
him.
Ellison went to Illinois. The guy that's giving all the money to the Michigan quarterback. It's because his wife is a Michigan lady,
Yeah,
and she
it's-
watches football.
I'm just
loves
saying.
it.
NIL money now is going to dictate and start to determine and
I like
to
it.
eliminate the smaller schools.
No, I disagree. Actually, I think it brings
Okay.
the smaller schools into play because
Okay. So Ball State's going to be able to sign a five
Wow.
five quarterback.
if they want to spend enough money and offer more money than other schools are, then
There you
yeah,
go.
absolutely. Or Dad,
Actually-
if he's not necessarily a 5-star, because it's not realistic for Ball State to get a 5-star recruit, but a school like Vanderbilt could get a 5-star recruit,
I
like
do agree.
or a school like SMU, or like schools that aren't necessarily red bloods. That now have a chance to get
He's
these.
gonna
like,
run with that, huh?
yeah, I am actually. No, I think that I completely disagree. I think the transfer portal and the NIL actually leveled the playing field of college football.
different
I think it
different
hurts.
argument, different day. But
Yeah.
Either way, once again, I feel like I'm beating beating a dead drum or something like that.
Beating the
horse.
dead horse, Trent.
Beating a dead horse, something like that. Shit.
Dead drum. What the hell? That doesn't even
Yeah,
make
anyway,
No
any
horses.
sense.
No
Beating a drum,
horses have been hurt in filming this.
Yeah,
podcast.
sorry. This is why I look at right now and I say this is the best. It's so much better. Is you have a team like Arizona State who's 9-2 and ranked 16th that still has a shot to win a national championship. It is as close to a March Madness bracket that we can get at this point. Like, don't get me
I
wrong.
agree.
Could they go bigger? Yes. This is better. Yes.
So
Is it still going to sit there and, like, I know everyone's argument, even with the 14 playoff, was like the years that like a TCU got in and they just got shit on, right? And they're like, oh, see, this is why this is pointless. Or Boise State is up there right now and they get shit on. They're going to say, oh, this is pointless. We shouldn't do this anymore.
Or Florida State that went undefeated isn't in.
Yeah, and you know what? And that is a statement. That's a statement to be made because, to be quite honest with you, right now is, I mean, ACC right now has 2 schools in there. Who's the real bad conference this year? Big 12.
Yeah.
Big 12 lost. They lost Texas and they lost Oklahoma.
They're the new Pac-12,
and it is showing. So I love this, and you know what? My preseason pick of national champion is still at the very top. So, you know, just got to throw that out there.
Trying to kind of piggyback what you're saying. There a couple people were against the playoffs, saying like, "Oh, it's gonna." I think it was Tom Fornelli, the big college analyst or football guy, that said it's going to make regular season games not matter as much because they can lose here and there. And I think this last week actually prove the opposite, that it's going to make more games more important. Because think about it. Like I was listening to, I forget which, I think it was Big Cat and his podcast that Barstool has, but the Ole Miss Florida game, like Ole Miss losing that game is a huge deal now because they're gone. And if it's a 14 playoff, who gives a crap? Whoa, wow.
Texas, sorry. Go ahead.
That's is that your new one you're going to show us, huh? That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Sorry.
No, but what was I going to say?
Sorry.
If it's a 14 playoff, not a 12-team playoff, that Ole Miss game losing to Florida doesn't matter. Alabama losing to Oklahoma doesn't really matter in a 14 playoff because they're already out. But now it's like that. Damn, like that was a huge game. It changes up everything, and I think it makes more games more meaningful than actually takes away from
longer. Like games matter longer. Like
right,
the season
and games that wouldn't matter situationally now do. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like
that's what I mean. Like I'm saying, like that's week 12. Like if those teams were, would have lost and be like, oh yeah, whatever. Like doesn't matter.
Yep.
You're not in a playoff. But like now it's like, oh man, Ole Miss is like literally lost themselves out of the playoff.
Yes. Yep. Like,
period.
With 3 losses, like that's
right.
A significant amount. They're not,
and Florida also put themselves in bowl contention.
Yeah.
That was their 6th win.
Can we be honest about that though? Like, our bowl game's gonna go to shit though.
They already are shit. They're only
they're
good for one thing.
Like, I'm sorry. What are they good for?
Bowl pick'ems.
I can't do bowl pick'ems anymore. Like you can't honestly pick them without knowing who's opted out and who's playing.
True,
yeah. Like I think bowl pick'ems are the biggest waste of your money. Like I'm done with bowl pick'ems. Like just give me a playoff bracket or something. Like
that's true.
Like I'm done with bowl pick'ems. You can't pick a bowl pick'em honestly anymore, unless you're picking like the MAC. Like unless you're picking these small conference bowls, like.
Yeah, but you got to do something about that.
Exactly. It's been like 2 years running now,
expand the playoff.
Boom. Expand the playoff is right.
And make each playoff game a bowl. That's what I said
Make
before.
it. Could you do it? I'm just looking at it right now. Couldn't you do it at 24?
Just make another opposite side.
So that's what FCS does.
Do it. Well, I think they even do more than 24.
They do 24.
Do they do 24?
Mm-hmm. Duquesne missed it by 1 spot.
I saw they lost to CCSU.
Yeah.
All right. What?
All right. Well, I think it is
Bearded Best Bets.
Time.
I love how Tyler's mic's the only one that's muted late. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
We could totally say whatever we want. With
Yeah, we could.
Look, bullshit.
All right. What do we got here, boys?
Well,
who's going to
lead us off here?
You gonna lead? You led off on NFL. Can I lead off?
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
That way, if you have any bets that are similar to mine, I only got 3.
Same here.
All right, I got Trey. I think according to the whiteboard, Trey, you and I agree. Texas -5.
Okay.
Love that. Right? Wait, hold on. Hook 'em.
That's
shout
crazy.
Out Fast Breaks.
Hey, shout out Fast Breaks. I was gonna say you got to shout out Steve.
Go.
Did he show you how to do that?
No, he didn't.
No. He's a Texas fan, Trey.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Come on. Know our friends.
College Juice Podcast. Come on, shout him out.
Yeah.
Yep. I won't shout out Heels though. I mean, he's a Carolina guy. But anyway.
Wow. Sorry, Kevin.
Just kidding.
That's messed up.
I don't think I've ever met Kevin, but Kevin,
I haven't either. But
I support you, Kevin, because you're friends with Fast Breaks, Steve. But anyway, so my other 2. So I said Texas -5. Love that pick. The other one, I'm going to keep riding because they're hot. I think they're on a roll. They're just slaying through ranked teams right now.
Trent loves riding hot things.
Okay. Kansas football money line at Baylor, taking Kansas money line. And last but not least, I'm going to close the year out strong with this group. Supported them early in the year. I love their offensive scheme. The Sling T, Navy plus 1.5
Okay.
versus Eastern Carolina, who's dealing with a new head coaching change. So those are my 3: Texas minus 5, Kansas money line, Navy plus 1.5.
Trey, you want to go or you want me to go?
Yeah, I can go ahead. Like Trent said, first bet I have is Texas minus 5. I think that they're just not going to even give the committee a chance to kind of keep them out of it or make a doubt. I know A&M is at home and they're playing for the SEC championship, but I just like Texas in that spot. Next is the opposite of what Dad said, I think. I'm on South Carolina plus 3.5. I think they got their defensive line is scary. They have like 2 or 3 guys that are going to get drafted. They've played good teams really tough this year, and I just think that they always play Clemson tough. It's like their Super Bowl kind of too. So I like getting 3.5 points there. And last, not least, is a team that you saw it? Do you know the pick?
I see it. I see the board, man. That's terrible pick.
Who is it?
I like it. I like the pick.
Dude,
I think they're gonna play Ruiner.
Who?
I think Oklahoma State, the Cowboys, baby. Back to my original. I had them winning the Big 12. Was pretty high on them early in the year, and they greatly let me down. They are 3-8, 0-8 in the Big 12, if you can believe that. But I like them getting 17 points against Colorado. Like I said, they're going to play Ruiner.
Trey, please don't make that your pick.
I'm not going to make it my. I can't.
Don't.
I said I wasn't going to, but I took them off the blacklist for the last week of the season.
Oh, thank God he's. What? Wait, no, don't make them your pick.
I'm not going to, but they're off the blacklist for now.
All right. So I have 11 picks.
Nah,
Shut up. No,
Jesus,
man. He's finishing the year strong.
Dude, week 13. Let's go, man.
Oh man.
11.
Dude, you know I normally have like 8 to 10.
Jeez.
All right. I got Boise State minus 18.5 on Friday against Oregon State. I got Minnesota money line against Wisconsin, which is actually a plus 100 odds. Nebraska plus 4. If you guys saw Matt Rule's speech, go take Nebraska. At least take them for the points. South Carolina plus 3. So I'm also, Trey, I'm with you on that. I see 3.5. I got 3, but I got Northwestern plus 7.5 against Illinois. Northwestern's defense is pretty tough. I got Texas Tech money line against West Virginia because I am riding strong with Texas Tech. That's been my team.
I like that
this year. Trey, Maryland plus 25.
Wow.
Oh, Penn State.
I'm betting on it.
Auburn 11. Auburn plus 11.5 at Alabama. Iron Bowl tough. SMU minus 13.5. I think they win by a touchdown against Cal to try to make a statement to get in the playoff. I got Florida State. I over over 46 points in that game. And then I got
Todd, do you know the spread in that game off the top of your head or no? I'm just saying.
Florida State.
I'm sorry. I haven't. It's okay. Keep going. Sorry.
No, I got one more pick here, and then I can look it up, Trent. Last pick is LSU minus 6 against Oklahoma in Death Valley. So
wow,
I don't normally pick LSU.
What's the spread of the Tennessee Vanderbilt game?
10.5.
It is 10.5. It's
They're
at
going to destroy Vanderbilt.
God, I hope so.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I would.
It makes me nervous as shit, man.
I think I would disagree with that.
Okay.
I think I would. I just couldn't. I couldn't bet.
Trent, spread is 17. Florida game.
Florida's favored by 17.
Yeah.
Holy
hell! That's why I took the total points.
Wow. Okay. Even though, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Staying away from the Tennessee game because That game makes me nervous as hell.
You know what would be really awesome? USC knocks off Notre Dame this week.
That would
I
be
was
sweet.
I was so close to picking the USC points, but I didn't.
They're plus
It's
7.5 at home.
7.5. I know.
That's tough. You'd really think, but USC is just so freaking bad. Like,
Northern Illinois is not a powerhouse.
oh, yeah, that is true. But well, I think we have to.
Wouldn't that be the nice upset pick of the week, though?
It'd be honestly like I mean, if that would not eliminate Notre Dame, I don't know how you could.
It wouldn't.
But yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Nope, their
Yeah,
fan
they'd
base
have
is too
to.
big. Their fan base is too big.
I mean, our biggest comment about Notre Dame year or week in, week out is the fact that they get so much TV money.
Yeah.
You know, like we get that. But here's the thing: is I look at Notre Dame and I'd be very willing to put a lot of money to say that Notre Dame just won't win the national championship no matter what. Like I'd put a very large sum of money on that to say there's no chance.
I agree with that.
There's no chance they beat any of those teams. So, but I think, guys, what we have to start to talk about is the elephant in the room. I'm not talking about myself. Okay, I know size wise, but I think we got to talk about college basketball. I think it's that time.
Yeah, been a little
And
bit
college-
frustrated.
Can I just say that? That's why I was going to start off and saying college basketball is kicking our ass.
Oh my god.
It's kicking a lot of people's asses too, though.
It is, but we'll just take accountability. Right now, it is very, very bad in the sense of
Gambling wise, we will prevail.
Yeah.
We will. You know what? We're getting this out of the way, and to be quite honest with you, it's a tough time, and I'm not trying to make an excuse, but with these tournaments, it's very, very similar to like conference type tournaments where there's a lot of there's predictable trends that you can follow, but when it comes to like March, there's a lot of things that just happen that we consider to be the madness. And you've got Maui Invitationals with the back-to-back champs who haven't lost a non-conference game in over 900 some days, lose 2 back-to-back games, right? So if you're a UConn bettor, you just got your bankroll demolished on that.
Yeah.
Even I would say probably even worse was the Colorado loss, because I don't think anybody in the world thought they were going to lose Colorado. I think you got 2 games with Carolina and Auburn coming back from 18 points and 21 points to come back and win.
Yeah.
Like I just can't imagine that feeling to see that type of game come back and those types of comebacks happen and occur. You got Gonzaga getting knocked off, and I know I'm being long-winded. I apologize. I'm just trying to summarize. You got Gonzaga getting knocked off today by West Virginia, whose new head coach DeVries, sorry, coming from Drake.
It was yesterday.
Yesterday, sorry, and then even yesterday, it got me. This was my personal pick, so I apologize to anybody tailing us. You got freaking Louisville, who's coming off of how many years of being an absolute disaster, but once again, new head coach from Charleston, right? They come in and they just, my God, they just freaking demolish Indiana, who, to be quite honest with you, right now, you look at the Big Ten and say they should be a potential favorite to win that conference, which they will be in the end, I'm sure. But it's like this is college basketball, and it's not even freaking December yet, fellas. Yeah. So, God, I love it. I just love it. I'm sorry. I love as much heartbreak is causing me right now in our recipe picks. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
And Trent, you nailed it on the head. Like this week is awesome. You're seeing like top 10 teams playing each other multiple times a week, and it's all day, every day. It finally feels like we're getting into not the thick of the season, but you have a larger sample size, so you can actually get a feel for teams now. And yeah, it is the best. And yeah, we're not doing the best with our recipe picks right now, but it's the law of averages, right?
Well, you got to understand one thing. Traditionally, you guys kill it in March on your picks.
But February,
I mean,
March.
that one year, I thought, holy crap! I mean, you guys were hitting everything. You got to understand. Right now, these tournaments and stuff. Yeah, you're seeing some top schools go head to head, but we also don't know the detail of the details of the teams well enough. We don't know the team's personalities. Hell, these coaches don't even know their own team's personalities as of yet, how they're going to be responding in certain situations. These early tournaments and these early games with these big schools playing big schools, when I'm saying big schools, I don't mean large in size. I mean big name schools playing each other. A lot of these coaches don't even know what they have, especially with the transfer portals, with freshmen playing. They're in huge environments. Some of the environments aren't so big, but they're like, oh, how the kid's going to respond? How the kid's going to respond? So as far as betting lines and stuff early in the season with these huge tournaments, yeah, you're right. You're going to struggle with picks.
Yeah,
you're really going to struggle with picks, but you guys have traditionally, when you've learned and watched the personalities of these teams develop, you guys rock it in freaking March.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, thank you, Dad. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you what I see. I mean, I'm telling you what I see. I mean, seriously.
I'll tell you.
I mean, I think you guys' record speaks for itself.
How about talking about personalities of teams? Team that's probably the most successful winning the biggest game this year is they had to turn a plane around because they were fighting on it.
Auburn,
yeah.
But
I thought that would have been a detriment to their season, or at least the beginning of it, and they look better than anyone else. So
next Wednesday, big one for them with us.
Sure.
I want to see if they're favored in Cameron. I'm anxious to see that line.
Oh, they will be.
No, they definitely will be, dude.
They should be. They should be.
Cooper Flag needs to do some hand strength exercises.
Yeah.
And ball drills.
He gets it knocked out of his hand all the time. And
he's 17 years old.
I don't care, Dad. Be strong with it.
I still don't understand why they keep giving it to him when it comes down to the game on the line.
You got to.
You guys are funny. You guys are funny. Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh. No, I'm just laughing. I just listen.
I'm trying to be funny.
You're criticizing a team for giving the ball to the number one prospect in the NBA.
I did not
in crunch time. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, as a Duke fan, hold on. As a Duke fan, we are a combined 20 seconds away from being 6-0 versus 4-2. And I get that. They've lost the game to Kentucky. They've lost the game to Kansas. But I would say they led the whole game versus Kentucky. They shot like shit against Kansas, and they had a chance to win both those games. I think the old saying is that we like to follow on here is cream will rise to the crop top. Mm-hmm. I am not going to criticize John Shire about drawing up plays to give the ball to Cooper Flag in crunch time. I get it. He's blown it a couple times, but let's
went into Arizona. They went into Arizona. Arizona just put up over 100 points again today. Well, I mean, how many times have they been over 100 points this year? When they played Duke, Duke went into their gym and beat them good.
Yeah, I kind of, this is where I kind of want to like also kind of been like thinking about this today, because I get on my feed for you feed, the one that like adapts to like what you look at and whatnot. I get a lot of Duke fan accounts and I get a lot of North Carolina fan accounts.
I get a lot of girls trying to show their boobs.
Okay,
on Twitter.
that's
and like fights and stuff. You guys get that or no?
No, I don't. But
No.
anyway,
It all depends on who you follow.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway, I just submitted that, but
it's an algorithm. I don't know why it does that.
Anyway, what I was going to say is there are a lot of fans out there in the Duke and UNC world that just they get so outrageous with their opinions so soon. Like I'm seeing people calling for John Shire's head. I'm seeing people calling for Ty. Who's your coach's name? Your coach's name's
Hubert Smith.
Hubert Davis.
Hubert
Smith.
But dude, they gotta realize is
Trevor's looking at some of those boobs.
I knew I should have said that.
Yeah, what are you
got distracted?
But anyway, listen, I'm not gonna jump the gun. Don't get me wrong. Do I lose sleep at night when Duke loses that game last night to Kansas? Absolutely. That eats at me. But it is what at this point I'm confident that in the end, I think as Duke becomes more experienced, because here's what kind of drives me nuts is everybody got on Shire and Duke for being such a young team, but Vegas had them favorited to win against Kansas, who's the oldest team in the NCAA. And they kind of made it out to be like Kansas was an underdog overall when Kansas is ranked number 1 and Duke was ranked number 12. So I get it. Like people are going to say, yeah, because you have this and you have that. But the way you guys just made it sound is Cooper Flag's not that reliable. No
one said that. I said he needs to get hand strength exercises so he doesn't get the ball.
Tyler said that they shouldn't have the ball. So
I think more experience needs to get the ball.
Okay.
Down the line. That's all I'm saying.
I don't say that.
Real quick though,
Duke will be a top 5 team by the end of the year.
I'm not saying they won't, Trent, but real quick though, Trent, you kind of alluded to it. What of your favorite teams though do you lose most sleep over? Like
Duke. 1,000%.
Duke.
Dude, I can't watch. I could watch a Raiders game. I guess that's what's sad about being a Raiders fan. But I've got friends that used to try to come in college, to our dorms, just to watch me watch Duke games. I got friends that have never seen somebody. I'm not gonna lie. When I say we, me, us, I don't give a shit. I hate what I hate is I hate people that sit there and be like, oh, we, us, we have to. Oh, you're on the team. It's like shut your goddamn mouth. I'm a fan. You're an owner, but
Trey. So who do you lose sleep over, Trey?
It would be the team that I own.
Packers.
Yeah.
I would say Niners is definitely my first. Yeah. Niners probably the team I lose most sleep over.
I take. Here's where I'm at, guys.
I'd say it was Carolina was there for a while, but I get so frustrated with them now that I feel like Tennessee football is starting to overtake Carolina in terms of losing sleep. I told you, Trent, tonight, take Michigan State's spread because Carolina's not going to cover.
I thought Tyler would have been Michael Penix not starting.
Ooh.
But all right. Hey, anything else?
Yeah, I think you guys see who I lose sleep over. I get furious when I watch Duke. I turn the sound off. I watched half the game last night with the sound off because of the commentating and so forth. It just absolutely disgusts me. Because there's Ravitch and who's the guy that used to Fran.
He's a Big 12 announcer.
Yeah, but and they hate Duke. They hate Duke. And half of them hate Duke. Some of the ex-players hate Duke because they weren't intelligent enough to have the ability to even get recruited by Duke because they couldn't even get into the school. That's the problem. Because it's a very high educational school, and half of them wouldn't have qualified to be able to even get into the school, and then they have disgust for that. When you have to recruit players that have a degree of intelligence enough to be able to get qualified for the school, and then get the talent that they do, it says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I support schools that make other people write their papers for them.
To say, Tyler likes third grade level reading.
Actually, North Carolina does have a very high. From an academic perspective, they do have high academics.
Dad, we don't have to be fair and balanced on here.
Yeah,
I'm not.
But hey, I'll tell you what. Thanksgiving Day football, fellas. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Spend some time together.
Yep.
Although
today.
Today. Although all the games suck except the night game. But
hey, can we go back to one thing?
Okay.
Can I comment on the Baker Mayfield thing? Like when he was with the Browns and the Browns wanted to bring in Deshaun Watson. You know, in the end, Cleveland thought they'd have a happy ending, but it wasn't.
There you go.
That's a good way to end a Wednesday.
I was gonna say I got nothing else to say here for that. I can't get into it. I was gonna say happy ending, Dad.
And Thanksgiving for that.
Yeah,
there you go.
There
you go. All right, enjoy your holiday. Yeah, enjoy your holiday.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. We got that. This for Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna hop on the Twitter feed, fellas.
There you go. Yep.
What?
All right.
Yeah. Your X feed.
Follow it up.
Hop on the X feed. Check out our website. Go buy some merch. And check us out on the TikTok.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, everybody, have a great weekend.
All right.
See you guys.
See you, fellas.
Love you guys.